Is 6 figures enough? What does that even look like for you and your family today? Well, let's talk about it. Welcome back, Preneurs. Let's have a conversation about inflation. And I'm gonna compare a couple different times and dates. You have 1980, 2000, and 2021 as our baseline for different things that we can gauge inflation with. Let's look at this. Phone. You guys remember our cell phones back in? Well, there was no cell phones back in 1980. But look at this. The cost of a phone back then was $2,990. Crazy, right? In 2000, it was $500. If you look right here in 2021, it's $1,000. Some people are financing children to be able to get a phone today. Pretty crazy. I'm just kidding, of course. All right, eggs is another one with baseline. This is a dozen of eggs was 84 cents back in 1980. Look at what happened. Inflation only took it up a couple of cents to 2000. You can see at 91 cents. And in 2021, you see 96 cents. So not too much of a gauge of eggs. Eggs kind of consistently stayed where it's at. But you can see obviously increasing and trending. If you look at gas at 85 cents back in 1980. In 2000 it was $1.69. But look at, in 2021, it jumped to $3.04, which is surprising to me because I'm from California and this price of gas is kind of high, right? It's very, very high. So when I moved to Texas, I now live here in Dallas, Texas. I look at $3, everyone's telling me it's so high. I'm like, man, it's like free to me here, right? So $3.04 is what it looks like. If you look at a home, average home price across America back in 1980s was $47,200, which is crazy to me. 2000, it jumped up to $119,600. And as you can see right here, the average home price right now in 2021 is about almost $250,000. Now, if you look at the average income that allows us to purchase these different things, the average income back in 1980 was $21,000. If you look at 2000, it's about $42,000. So it pretty much jumped, as you can see, over this 20-year period. But in 2021, the average income in America right now is $61,000. So the real question for yourself is that enough for you and your family? Is that enough to give you the options? If I'm not mistaken, inflation just jumped up out the roof over 6%. So what if you want to make 6 figures though? What if you say, you know what, I want to cross over that 6-figure range and I want to really position myself to have better options? What can I really be doing today to make sure that happens? Well, before we get into that, my question for you is your income keeping up with the cost of living? Okay, because this is a very big deal. Is your income keeping up with the cost of living? Is it adjusting? So let's compare 2 dates of time when it comes to income. 1990, 2021. Now the average income again in 1990 was $21,000, but in 2021 it was $61,000. But what again, if you're that person that says, I want to make 6 figures, if you want to make 6 figures, which is $100,000 back in 1990, that means in today, you have to make $394,000. That is a 294% increase of growth. So what if you want to make $1 million just for fun, kicks and giggles? You want to be the first generation cash flow millionaire in your family. That means you have to make $3.94 million today based on what's happening on with inflation. So now it brings me to start thinking about, well, how many people are really making this type of income in America right now? How many households are doing that? So income number by household, let's kind of break that down. If you're making 6 figures, which is $100,000 right now, just pure $100,000, 15% across the country right now, United States, is making $100,000. That's 1 in 7 families. So say you're at the mall, say you're out and you see 7 families, 1 out of those 7 families making over $100,000. But who's really making over $250,000? Well, 5% across the country is making that type of money. So you see 20 families, 1 out of those 20 families are making that type of income. But what are really making the 7 figures, $1 million range? 0.1%. That's 1 in 1,000 families currently right now are making $1 million. So now we start talking about all these different things come with different options in your lifestyle. So if now you might want to look at having children if you don't have them already. To me, this is the best birth control if you don't have kids. Because look at this. If you have 1 child right now, it's going to cost you from raising them 0 to 18 years old, $233,000 pretty much to be able to do that. Yep, and you can't catch a loan for that one, right? Number 2, if you have 2 children, you just double that. That's $467,000. If you have 3 children, you're talking about $700,000. So if you have 4 children, you have to be a millionaire, right? Just to be able to make that, to be able to raise the children the proper way. But the real question is, what are my best options to be able to create this type of income, to be able to raise children, to be able to buy the things I know I'm gonna have to buy, to be able to have better options, to be able to do things I want to do that's stress-free? Well, let's kind of talk about it. I'm gonna compare professions and industries. Well, if you look at a profession, maybe you want to look at becoming a surgeon. Maybe you want to look at becoming a psychiatrist. Maybe you want to become a trial lawyer. These are your top 3 in regards to professions that give you the best option in making the 6 figures of today. Not 6 figures, 100,000. I'm talking about 6 figures at 394,000 based on inflation. How about the industry? Well, you can look at the top 3 industries right now that can help you create that type of income. Medicine. Why? Because people are always going to get sick and injured. Look at law. Unfortunately, there's always going to be crimes. There's always going to be injustice, unfortunately. Because of that, there's always going to be some need for laws. And lastly, it's finance. We're always going to need money. Until we can pay bills with smiles, unfortunately, that doesn't work too well. We're always going to need money to be able to transact the things we want to do. So with that, guys, hopefully this video made some sense for you. Go ahead and tag another entrepreneur, another family that needs any of this type of information that can help them have better options for their family as well. Go ahead and click that notification button as well that you probably see it pop on the screen so you can see the next video that we have coming up. And go ahead and also follow the social medias if you like, share, and comment. We'll see you on the next one.